Hi everybody, how you doing? I'm Paps, a wrestling VTuber and an artist, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of fan art. So, recently I've seen on Twitter that some people have been doing this quiz that was recently released by Capcom in kind of like, in anticipation of Street Fighter 6 releasing next month. So, essentially what this quiz is that it asks you some questions. As far as I understand it, asks you some questions and it assigns you a fighter and a control type. So I'm excited to see just how badly I get exposed. We'll see if I manage to beat the modern controls allegation. We'll see. Alright, let's head on over to the working screen. Okay. Put on a little... Alright, I need to actually show the quiz. Hang on, let me pull it up here. Right, okay. Street Fighter 6. Fighter and Control Type Personality Quiz. Take this quiz and find out which fighter from Street Fighter 6 suits you best. Whether you're a fighting game rookie, a casual enjoyer, or a veteran player who's already had a favorite character set in mind, try this quiz out. You might be surprised with the results. Alright, are we ready? Question. The fight has started. The moves you make now can make or break the flow going forward. What do you do? Keep my distance and see what my opponent does, or use pokes to close a gap between me and my opponent? No, I'm jumping in. Fights can go a number of different ways. For every quick win, there's a tight spot from which you might have to claw your way out. What's your ideal approach to a fight? Playing things safe from start to finish and maintaining as much of a lead as I can. Dealing big damage, even if I have to put myself in some dicey situation. Nah, I prefer that kind of stability. Your opponent is calm, cool, collected, and efficient in their movement. You have to gain the upper hand somehow. What do? Start crying. Wait for my opponent to miss a poke and punish them accordingly, or use a powerful move that barely leaves me open and strike them hard. Powerful move. You're up against your rival. You've trained for this, but then again, so have they. Which of these playstyles helps you gain the psychological advantage? Take a more imposing stance and punish their jumping attacks with high-reaching anti-airs. Surprise them with intimidating jump-ins and rush-down attacks to get in close and pull off a win right away. Like, the thing is, right? As much as people say that, rush-down characters are, unga bunga or whatever, right? They you just head in and keep fighting, but I feel like they still require some degree of skill. I'm not sure what kind of fighting game character suits me, which is why I'm taking this quiz as well. But I do like jumping in. The action's heating up at mid-range, with you and your opponent throwing out pokes and canceling them out. Neither of you knows what to expect. What do you do now? Put up my guard and observe my opponent, then act accordingly. Now's my chance! I throw out a surprise attack. I think I'm gonna put up my guard. No! Please, God! Oh, man. I was not ready for how I would react to this. Well, that's... Ay. Well, I'm sad to be announcing that I'll have to be graduating, perhaps effectively immediately. It's been a good run, everyone, but I think it's time to end it on a... Well, it's ending on some kind of point. Alright, we got Luke. We got Luke. I can't believe this shit. Alright, control type quiz. The heart of any fighting game is, well, the fighting. Everyone wants different things from a match, but which of these is what you want? I want one thing and one thing only, to win. I want me and my opponent to get to know one another through battle. Yeah, I'd like to have intense rivalries where I know the other one. There's more to a fight than just winning. It's two people engaging in a conversation with their fists. How do you approach a fight? I want to practice my combos in advance and surprise my opponent. I just want to have fun and enjoy the match. Probably practice in advance. Luke and modern. I feel... You have a fighting spirit that burns inside you, but ultimately you just want to have fun, so the modern control scheme is best for you. Special moves are pulled off with just one button in one direction, helping you unleash more moves faster and get out those anti-airs from more high-level play. You favor a strong offense, but have the power to handle other aspects well, so Luke is good for you. His Sand Blast and Aerial Flash Knuckle make catching your opponent off guard a breeze. If you start losing control of the fight, you can take it back with a rising uppercut. Huh, okay. That being said, I feel like this might be like, I don't know how to feel about this. On the one hand, I feel like it maintains my, well, facade might not be the right word. My status is like the most normal guy on Earth. I feel like the most normal dude on Earth would get the Luke and the modern playstyle, but there's something about this that just feels like they really, really, really kicked my ass. I don't know how to put it. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't prepared for it. For the possible psychological damage. Alright, well. I mean, on the other hand, though, like that, I feel like that is a good thing too, right? Luke's supposed to be like the main dude for the new game. Weirdly enough, I technically, to some extent, depending on like how you want to analyze the situation, have already technically made fan art of Luke with the thumbnail that I made, and to some extent repurposed for today's stream and thumbnail. God, just look at that. Alright. So how am I gonna play this? I think the best thing to do would be to like use a Is square good? Hang on, I kinda wanna try. Let's see. What about I'm trying to figure out like how I wanna, like, first of all, like the pose for this, right? And also like I said, I wasn't expecting Luke as the thing. That threw me way the hell off. Like I was expecting anybody else. And I had like some ideas. Luke is just like a guy. At least to me. I don't know. There might be some Luke might have I like the voice actor for Luke. That guy's hilarious. I don't know anything about Luke himself. I don't have any affection for that guy. Right? Like, to be fair, I don't really have any particular affection for like any Street Fighter character theoretically, because I've never really played Street Fighter before. I played like Street Fighter 5 for like 5 minutes, but it gave me like advertisements between each match, and well, I only had to experience that once before I wanted to pull out my hair. From what I understand, Street Fighter 5 isn't even like the best one. I know some people are like talking. I know a lot of people like Alpha, Third Strike, whatever. I don't know. One of the ones from like the pixel art era. All right, let's see. What kind of pose would be good for him? Like, I'm searching through my stockpile here, right? Probably none like these gravure style poses. I don't think that'll suit him. You know what? Hang on. I've got a vision. I've got an idea. All right. First of all, let's adjust the height to be a little bit bigger. I think Luke is supposed to be like decently big. Let me get a. The good thing is that as well, like because he's like the main character is not the right word, but like the face of the game, he's gonna have a lot of official art, I think, as well. So that'll make it easy to shop around for references. What the? Firefox is installing an update right now. Right now. Oh, whatever. Anyway, Luke SF6. First hit I got when I typed in Luke was Luke Skywalker, which, fair. Oh god, is that what he used to look like? I'm not gonna. All right, this might be me being unfair to him, but like this is an undeniable glow up. Like from this to this, undeniable glow up to me. I don't know. Like modern Luke definitely looks like he would drink like one can of Monster Energy and like smash a hole in drywall, but like Street Fighter Five Luke looks like, man, I don't know. Street Fighter, something about Street Fighter Five Luke is sinister. I think it's like the hair. I think it's like the hair antenna. No, I think this is like the full version of that cutout pose there. Is there like a gallery for these? Let's see. We'll use the wiki for the galleries. As part of a Minecraft collaboration, Luke appears along with most of the Street Fighter V cast in the World Warrior skin pack? Get out of town, really? Oh my god, it's real. It's real. Fellas, get a load of this. Oh god, it even has like the hat texture or whatever to like give the hair like that additional wire like quality. That is something. That is a stiff cup of drink. Oh my god, I don't think I was ready for any of this. I don't think I was emotionally prepared for this stream. Like, I was prepared to be exposed, but not like this. Never like this. Alright, let's see. Where is. Oh, that I'm looking at the Street Fighter 5 one. Okay, here we go. Character turnaround. Seriously, I don't know what it is about Street Fighter 5, Luke. Oh, hey, Cypress, how's it going? Welcome everybody to the stream. Thank you for your hard work. How's Dark Souls? I think that's what you were playing, right? Anyway, guess what? I got Luke and modern style on the Street Fighter 6 quiz, so I don't know how to take that. I've been kind of like processing that crisis for the last hour. Looney Tunes as shit happened. Hey, that's good to hear. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Damn, Popeye with modern controls. Yep. I hadn't even made the Popeye connection. You're right, though. His forearms are massive. Let's just get some more references in here. I don't know. The thing is, right? I played with modern controls during the demo, right? For the did I have this one in there already? Yeah, I did. I played with the modern controls during the demo for World Warrior mode or whatever you called it. I didn't really like it, but you know, I feel like I should listen. My one deficit is never listening enough to people who know what they're talking about. Granted, this is just a silly one-off quiz made by Capcom, but you know, I should still listen. All right. So here's my idea. He's just eating a. He's just kind of eating something. I'm imagining like a burger. I feel like a burger suits him. Actually, yeah, this kind of like lopsided pose is pretty good. Sandwich. Ooh. Actually, yeah, like a nice ham sandwich. That'd be kind of nice. What kind of hand pose is that actually? Like it almost looks like he's doing like the Italian hang on. How do I do this? Like that Italian gesture. I don't know how to describe it. Like you make like a little beak with your fingers. Anyway, we're it. Huh. This hand pose here is supposed to be like for like doing a heart shape. But you know, sometimes the thing that you love most in life is the sandwich that you're currently holding. All right, here's how we do. First of all, let's bulk up this model so that it can like have like the Popeye figure. There's got to be like a thing for forearms, right? Okay, now that's like forearm. That's like arm length total. Let's not dabble too much with that. I don't know. I guess I'll just have to like manually do the gigantic forearms. All right. Here we go. All right. Now I need to find a tasty, tasty picture of a sandwich. So, in the spirit of things, I'm going to go to Unsplash and get myself a royalty-free sandwich picture. Sandwich. What do we got? Oh, we've got some decisions. We got some. Ooh. Yeah, the royalty-free sandwich. The coveted royalty-free sandwich, might I add. All right, we've got some good ones. Oh, here we go. BLT. This dude has for sure put away BLTs in his time. I don't know. I'm not like the biggest fan of like BLTs. Like I'm not like their number one fan, but I am a decent fan of them. I enjoy them. There's a place near there's like a cafe chain near where I live that does like turkey bacon lettuce, which also has a tomato, but they just call it like turkey bacon lettuce. It's a rather misleading name, but it's not like it's not like with hamburgers, right? With hamburgers, they don't specify that they have like lettuce and tomato in there, right? It's not a lettuce. It's not a ham lettuce tomato burger. It's just like a burger. When did the? I know that like Hamburg or sounding like an alien right now. Hamburger. It was like based on the residents of the German town of Hamburg, right? But I do wonder, like, at one point, like cheese entered the chat, right? Probably like when the Americans got to it. I don't know. Okay, he's got like a fairly massive chin. Let's see. Should I also like give him like a weird expression like the one that I made for the thumbnail? I feel like I should. Hmm. No, it's like not great to eat with your mouth open. I don't think even Luke would like chew with his mouth open. Luke's fucked up eating face. Hmm. I mean, I don't need to make it like super fucked up, but like we can probably like do a little bit of I think there's like a threshold. We've got some allowance. We've got some tolerance. Hmm. Gonna turn down the opacity on the model just a little bit. No, wait. Now we can see his toes. Put the model opacity back at 100. Okay, yeah, hang on. This can work. Shrink that back down a little. Oops. Didn't mean to crop that. No, hang on. This has to be like his whole mouth is the thing, because otherwise, if I have like a little bit of extra mouth back here, he just looks like he was the stunt doubling for Harvey Dent in The Black Knight. I remember the first time I watched The Black Knight, I just couldn't understand what was going on whatsoever. Like I was lost. Granted, I was like only 13 at the time, so like I feel like a 13-year-old can understand the plot though. Like I don't know. I maybe I just like wasn't in the right headspace to absorb that film. Like I don't remember watching The Black Knight. I remember like seeing it. I don't remember watching it. If that makes sense. Like it's some kind of like ghost brain memory. Like in a past life, I saw The Dark Knight. Hmm. I'm gonna like turn his head to the side a little bit too. Why is this like so unstable? I've seen every Batman film and they've all combined into one mega memory. Dang, so you got like the super mix. You got like that 10-year anniversary remix kind of Batman movie in your head. The platonic ideal of a Batman movie. Or just one really long reel to reel. The maximum bad, exactly. You got like the concentrate. Like they sell your memory of the Batman movie in supermarkets, and then you add it to water to turn it into a normal Batman movie. Now these hair spikes. All right, these hair spikes. All right, he does have a little bit of a widow's peak. I can respect that. I can respect having a widow's peak. That earned some brownie points from me. Like, listen, the thing is, right? I said this earlier. Like, I don't have any understanding of Luke. I haven't really like been able to like understand anything about the guy. I just know that he's like the new face for whatever reason, and he makes like a weird, goofy face for like the game's cover art. So like, especially like seeing the Street Fighter Five model of him, like when I looked on the site, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to feel about this guy. I can't get a read on this dude. He doesn't seem like a bad guy. He just seems he's just a newest Shoto made to appeal to a new generation. Hmm. I don't know. Maybe that's why like I'm getting that sense to him, right? Like maybe I'm just like maybe I'm just like who is this guy? Like maybe that's almost on purpose, right? To kind of like introduce him. You know, I should go into this with like very low like preconceptions, right? I really wish I would stop hitting the crop key whenever I meant to just hit the like don't deselect key. Hmm. Does he still have like the same those same like eyebrows? Like the Street Fighter Five eyebrows that he had were kind of scary. Hang on, where's the hang on, Luke Street Fighter wiki or Luke SF6? Like check out the eyebrows on him here. I don't know, like this to me is not the same guy. Like this one does a little bit of a better job. They're almost like they almost like go into his eye, right? It's like he's got like a little like battle axe at the end of each of his eyes. Luke Street Fighter V jump scare. That's right. Now you know how I feel when I first looked at his gallery page. Delicious bacon, lettuce, tomato. Anyway, okay, so okay, so it's almost like it's practically like perpendicular. It's a thing. Maybe a little bit thinner than this. Definitely like a little bit thinner. And like also they seem to like go up in a wingtip now, which is hang on. Here we go. No, hang on. Okay, so they don't go into his eye. That's neat. That's a good detail to understand. Okay. But they do have like that almost like perpendicular angle to them. It's like it almost reminds me of like a shark fin at the end of each of his eyebrows. Man, I have got to like start getting into watching fighting game lore videos in the background while I work because I feel like that's the only way I'll ever catch up to all of this. Hmm. The main thing that like inspired me to say that though is like the other day I was like going through the Tekken wiki, right? I don't remember why I was on the Tekken wiki exactly, but I was on the Tekken wiki, and I stumbled across a page for Kangaroo, which or like Joey or whatever his name is, right? The Kangaroo character in Tekken. There is a Kangaroo in Tekken that is a character that you can play. He has a son. He's a deadbeat dad. I've learned these things from that wiki article, and I need to like understand how these pieces come together. Right? Like I want to understand why everything happened the way it did. Hmm. Tekken's story is incomprehensible. I could comprehend it. I bet I could comprehend it. I bet I could try to like comprehend it. I will make my best efforts to comprehend the Tekken storyline, just so I can understand why the hell Kangaroo is there. I know that apparently the bear is there because like one of the main bad guys trained up pet bears in order to use like martial arts, which sure, okay. I'll buy it. Why not? Yeah, I know that demons are apparently real in the Tekken universe as well. Or at least like some dude can turn into a demon for a brief amount of time and nobody seems to really mind. The old guy purposefully resurrects ancient demons so he can fight them. That's perfectly reasonable, I think. I don't have any issues with this whatsoever. Listen, those demons aren't going to get rid of themselves, alright? As far as I'm concerned, that old man is doing a public service. Also, I'm going to get this guy's legs just a little bit. Either I'm going to get this elbow, I'm going to get the shoulder to be a little bit lower. I'm going to get this knee a little bit higher. Okay. That's really funny though. Like I think that's That's not a good reason to resurrect demons, but I think that's definitely the funniest reason you can resurrect a demon. Like he's just at like the demon summoning Home Depot, right? Just like getting like a goat, like a bucket of goat's blood or something, and like a cultist is like near him, being like, "Hey, are you planning to resurrect the great dark one for the bennies of like being on the winning side of like a celestial conflict?" And he's like, "No, I'm going to punch him in the mouth." And to each their own, I suppose. Literally, his goals and how everyone reacts. So whatever it is, just like, yeah, sure, why not? That sounds fine. I don't have a problem with this. Listen, better that some old weird kung fu pervert resurrects a demon and gets rid of it for good than some crazy wacko trying to resurrect it for evil purposes. All right. You know what? I don't think the Mishima family did anything wrong. I know King is there. I know that's also a guy that's in Tekken. King. God, I love King. Yeah, because like the Earth might be endangered every single time he summons a brand new demon to beat the snot out of and treat as a sparring partner. But the demon gets gone at the end of the day. Why should we not trust the process? Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of like exercising demons, I recently found out that so I've had this problem right for the past, I want to say like almost like a year now, where the earphone jack in my phone. So I use my phone as a music player, as most people do, and the earphone jack in my phone has recently had a problem. Recently, being in like for the past 6+ months, definitely like it began last year and it's lasted until now. But I had this problem where like every time I try to plug in headphones into the headphone jack, the plug would just like bounce off. It would like pop out. It wouldn't even like slide out. It would like literally like get ejected, right? And I'm like, okay, I guess like, so first I tried replacing my headphones. I had a warranty on them. I was like, hey man, my headphone jack is no longer accepting them. What, like, give me a new pair? And I guess the guy working the counter there was like, thought that I would like, took pity on me, I suppose, and was like, yeah, sure, here you go, King, have a second pair. And I'm like, yay, sweet. So I replaced them. Same problem persisted, right? So it wasn't the headphones themselves; it was the headphone jack. So then I started like thinking, okay, what is happening here? Why is this happening? And like I can't think of a good reason other than like I've used my headphones so much that I've like I've, because like at work, right? Before this all happened, I used the same head of earphones for work and also to listen to music. And I connected to my phone when I listen to music, and I connected them to my computer when I'm at work. So I thought what had happened is that I've been like doing that like little shuffle connection so often that it actually like wore away the inside of the headphone jack. I'm like, well, crap. Now what do I do? So I sucked up and bought a set of like Bluetooth headphones, and they've been working pretty well. They're actually like very nice quality. The battery life isn't something I'm jazzed about. Having to deal with battery life in headphones is not something that I was used to. But I adapted. I shifted my shallow perception and overcame until this morning when like I couldn't find my Bluetooth headphones, and I'm like, all right, there has to be some reason this is happening. So I just straight up Google headphone popping out of jack. And I get like sent to this iFixit forum article from like 2009, like 2010, maybe more than 10 years ago for sure. And they're like, hey, so the reason, yeah, the ancient texts, this is like, these have been like aged like wine. One of the dudes in there, I'm pretty sure, had like one of those like XXX underscore username underscore or XXX things going on with their names. Like, this is like freaking. This was like that original forum era shit. And the guy there is like, oh yeah, I had like a problem to this. Like if you have like a paperclip or something, you can just like scratch out the inside of the headphone jack. Don't like scratch the metal, but it's probably because you've got like pocket lint in there. So I read this and I'm like, huh, pocket lint, right? Like I thought I'd scraped out the pocket lint, and so but you know, at this point I'm willing to try anything. So I get in there with like a paperclip, and 5 minutes later, I fished out like the teeniest, tiniest bit of lint. Like, I'm talking like collectively no larger than like a drop of water. Like it was like a minuscule amount. A grain of couscous would be larger than the amount of lint I fished out of the headphone jack, right? Like, it was like a minuscule, a laughable amount of lint. And suddenly my headphone is connected to the jack again. Like, it didn't have the problem anymore. The problem was fixed. And that was like both a win and a massive, massive loss to me. Because, you know, on the one hand, yay, I can use headphones again. But on the other hand, why have I been using my Bluetooth ones? Why did I even get Bluetooth ones? I hate Bluetooth. Bluetooth is a mortal enemy to me. I'm so anti-Bluetooth that I don't even go to the dentist. Actually, no, that's not true. If you want to avoid having blue teeth or any kind of bad teeth altogether, keep going to the dentist. I'm so anti-Bluetooth, I go to the dentist. I'm so anti-Bluetooth that when a connection is wireless, I carry around a length of copper just to fashion into an emergency set of wires, just so I can avoid. Oh my god, I made his Popeye arms too big. Just so I can fashion it into some manner of wire device. All right, his face is terrifying. The face that I've given Luke here is terrifying. I like some. It might be because of like the equidistant like line weight, but I feel like I need to make him cuter. I think it's the teeth. It might be the teeth. Also, I'm gonna make his like legs bigger. No mate of mine shall have chicken legs. Not if I have anything to say about it. But yeah, that's the story of how I learned that you can apparently that if you ever have like a similar problem and you like find your earphones popping out of their socket very frequently, do yourself a favor and just like get in there with like a paperclip. Trust. All right, and I forgot to draw his finger. Oh yeah. Speaking of weirdly of laughable circumstances, I don't know. I want to laugh about this. I don't think I ever will be able to. What is in this sandwich? I see red onion. I see some pickle. Is that chicken? Is that what the protein is there, chicken? It might be shrimp. What is this green, though? I want to say it's like baby spinach or something, but like, I don't know. Wait, it might be cress. It might be watercress. Weirdly enough, I've always wanted to try a watercress sandwich. Oh yeah, that's watercress. Like, the only reason I know what a watercress sandwich is because I read Great Expectations when I was like, ah, God, fuck, that scared me. Anyway, I read Great Expectations when I was like 15 because of a school assignment, and during one of the parts of the book, towards the end of the book, there's like a big hoo-ha about the main character ordering a watercress sandwich on account of the fact that like watercress is supposed to be like it's basically like the equivalent of like you know how when you're kind of broke, you either eat like ramen noodle or like beans over rice, right? Like just like canned beans over rice. That's like broke meal. That's basically what a watercress sandwich was at the time. It was like you're broke, so eat a watercress sandwich. That's what I understood at least. Like that, the English professor analyzed that little segment there, and was like, yeah, this whole thing was like because like the main character was eating a watercress sandwich. A lot of other people gave him shit for that because it's supposed to be like for poor people. That's always something that's like bothered me, right? Like being able to eat meat used to be seen as like a status symbol, right? And given today's fucking absolute mess of a grocery price index, it still kind of is, but not nearly as much, right? Like your average man can go to a hamburger restaurant, McDonald's, and get himself like a burger for $12 and can enjoy a hearty meal of meat and perhaps pickle. But I don't know. Like when have we started taking meat for granted? Is my question. How do you wrap a sandwich anyway? Probably not with tape. I don't think they would use tape. Hmm. Is this the right head shape? May I made the cheek too big. That might no. The cheek can't be the problem. Oh, I think this is. I think we've got a good face going here. Yeah, this one's definitely like cuter than the other one. I don't know how to put it. Like I feel like even though like my Luke had like something going on there, but like I feel like this one, like actual Luke, is a lot cuter than I originally gave him credit for. Right? Like he's got a little bit of baby face, especially compared to like the Street Fighter Five version. I don't know what it is about the Street Fighter Five Luke. Like he scares me. This is not a face of a man to be trusted. Like this dude looks like he works out at the gym with no music on. All right, this dude looks like he will like this dude looks like he will. I don't know, man. This dude looks like he will eat like an entire box of gas station dick pills. All right, this dude looks like he would eat a deep fried Twinkie, derogatory. Whereas this guy looks like he would eat a deep fried Twinkie, affectionate. Right, I feel like that's the main difference. I feel like this Luke does everything like evil that the other one doesn't. I don't know. I don't know what it is about the design. Maybe it's the head angle. I don't know. I don't know what it is about the design that communicates that to me. Oh yeah. I read the other day that apparently they started rolling out a new type of bus stop shade in Los Angeles, and I want to show you guys. Hang on, LA bus stop shade, because it's kind of it's a little bit pathetic. Where is it? Here it is. La sombrita. Translation: the little shadow. Feast your eyes. So first of all, the holes. Not great for averting sunlight. Second of all, like, if we use this, yeah, I think I did see like a breakdown of it, right? Like, first of all, let me like put this into perspective. Like, if we use this random gentleman here, and like, you know, if I try to do like a little bit of calculation, right? Like, let's say that this is like a grid, like, especially because we have like an actual grid structure to work off of, right? We actually have like a perspective grid that we can use. So we can actually tell like how relatively big to this thing this guy is. Yeah, you can fit maybe two people under there, assuming they are very comfortable with each other. Okay, so here's my plan. Here's my plan, right? So I'm going to grab this like tile here, right? And I'm going to try to make it fit like this tile over here. In terms of like shear size. So what is that? What ratio is that? Okay, 150%. So let's scale this guy up like 150%, right? And we move him like over here. So that's what it can like. That's all it can fit, I think. So I did see a little bit of a breakdown about it, right? Like I saw like an analysis of like what the intended purpose was. So basically, what ended up happening, from what I understand, right, is that to build like an actual bus shelter, like an actual like functional bus shelter with like seats and everything, you actually need to have like quite a few permits. Like it requires bureaucratic clearance. And this thing is small enough and like so unobtrusive that it can actually bypass most of those like clearance requirements. Like it can just kind of like side skirt the like legislation that's in place to like it can basically like bypass the system a little bit. So the idea would be to like build a bunch of these all over the place. However, I feel like it really is just like more of a proof of concept. Hmm. I don't know. How do his eyes look? No, they're definitely like. Hang on. I also got his eyes wrong a little bit. But yeah, I've been losing my mind about that too. I don't know how to make this looks like he's wider eyed. I need to like hang on. Do I need to like bring this up? I don't know. There's something about the angle of this that's gonna make it very difficult for him to like look friendly, right? Like like he's gonna look like he's like looking down here because that's just kind of like how eye physics works. Work? Well, I guess eye physics wouldn't be the right term. Perspective. Hmm. So perhaps if a little bit bigger. Hmm. Something about it is still not quite right. Let me bump up the eraser a little bit here. Oh, right. I also need to figure out where his scars go. I was about to say, does he just walk around without like wearing anything on his feet? And then I remembered his freaking casual clothes from the end of the demo, the freaking Timberlakes and everything. Whew. Okay, and that's gonna go. We got another one. Wait, no, hang on. Okay, this would be the first scar, like near his arm. Okay, we've got minimum two scar. Like, okay, so it's almost like in a tiger pattern. Weirdly enough, I feel like I didn't just need to debuff the Popeye arms. I feel like I also need to buff up the biceps a little bit. Like I didn't realize this earlier, but like the arms for Street Fighter dudes are like huge. I don't know. Maybe it's because like I almost got kind of like used to just seeing like decent buff guys in Guilty Gear. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like the Guilty Gear guys are like built like anything that isn't like a semi. But like I don't know, I feel like there's almost like the Street Fighter dudes are almost like more chiseled, right? Like just look at this. His hang on, I might be able to like do an exact calculation of this. His forearm is as big as his head. Like each one of these is a head. I don't know if that means he's got a tiny head or like way too big arms. I mean, he's got kind of a tiny head. Like comparatively speaking, that's kind of a tiny head he's got there. Maybe I should adjust the head size. Maybe that's where I've been going wrong. I need to like make his head and neck a little bit smaller. Dear God, it's on model. I've solved the Luke puzzle. Hmm. I did it. I figured out Luke. I'm so ready for June 2nd. Oh, you know what else? I think I should like raise his eyebrows a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, be on the lookout for my hot new print, which is going to be like a Vitruvian man, but with Luke heads instead of like the normal circles and shit. Hang on, let me see. Let me see if I can get on this dude. Thank God somebody had like a pre-censored version of it, so I didn't have to show this dude's schmeat on Twitch. Hang on. Hmm. Should I make his mouth lower? Just a little bit. Oh no, higher and to the right was the right answer. I feel like this is almost like the exact opposite of that "I'm Skylar White, yo" face. God, I'm gonna that guy's expression is going to live rent free in my head for the next foreseeable months. My name is Skylar White, yo. My husband is Walter White, yo. Uh-huh. God. I wonder if that dude like has found peace in his life. I hope so. For the contributions he's made to society, I hope he finds peace in life. Oh yeah. So the other day I figured out that I don't actually know like I like to follow like some business newsletters, right? I feel like that's the best way for me to like get up to date into the world is just like see like what's new in the business world, right? You know, sometimes I see some depressing stuff, but you know, other times it's pretty interesting things. Today, I saw this headline that said like Flipnote integrated Blue Sky into its system, and I'm like, and I've realized that like I don't know what anything is anymore. I thought I had it figured out. You know, it was pretty easy. Microsoft Teams, Slack, Zoom. Those I could understand, but like, who the fuck is Flipboard? When did they get brought into the equation? Like we joke, like there's like we joke that like each workplace has like 60 billion applications that they use for every little thing, but I didn't like really appreciate just how true that statement was until like very recently. All right, I'm gonna bump up this stabilization a little bit. I read that on average, a business has like I think it was like 60 or something applications that it uses for like its different functions, right? So you know that probably like doesn't count Excel or anything, but you know 60 applications, and like you know some of them are going to be shared. Like I know for example like you know TurboTax for example that one might be like shared across many of them, but chances are like depending on their business they've got like something that they like they've got like probably like some not proprietary what's the word like some industry specific like IT applications going on, right? So like it's kind of like when you try to think about it think really hard about like how many people there are in like a crowd of 1,000, right? Like I feel like I'm starting to like peer into the void sometimes when I think about like just how many applications exist in this world. I'm gonna do a little Amogus here. It can be our secret. Anyway, is Amogus still funny? I feel like we ran that joke into the ground a long time ago. I don't know. I still like him. I still like the Amo guy. The Amo guy are to me like eternal comrades. All right. It's so funny to me in the sense of like you cannot write among in anything without it happening, and the fact that it has so heavily affected our use of our vocabulary. Oh yeah, no, I gotcha. I do think that is funny. Yeah, just by sheer mimetic power. The memes, the DNA of the soul. There used to be this guy, a friend of mine, right, used to very frequently post a picture of like a nursing group of Among Us, which I don't know. Like the first time I saw it, I was just like baffled. But like as time went on, it like because I associated that with my friend, I became almost endeared to it, to that frankly awful image. I don't know. I feel bad calling any like any like artwork awful or like any image awful. I don't know. I've had like a bigger guilt complex about it these days because even if I personally find it awful, somebody worked hard on that. Somebody worked hard to make that, and somebody worked hard to show it to me. So it feels wrong to like call anything awful. But like, I'm not gonna lie, folks. That image, I did not enjoy it at the first glance. It took me time to fall in love with it. I don't know. I feel like that's the case for a lot of things. Like, or actually, I feel like it's almost a matter of like nostalgia, right? Because like, I remember there, I know some people on Tumblr, right? Like they make like a thing of like posting an image very, very frequently, or like, multiple times a day, even. And I respect that for them, right? I respect that the fact that they can do that and they have like the integrity and willingness to continue doing that. But like one time a dude I followed posted like Maractus, a like this 3x3 gift set of Maractus from Pokemon dancing. And after the eighth or fifth time I ran across it, I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to hit the exit button. Oh, posture attack. Thank you, Bunny. Let me hang on. I'm gonna crack Popple, snap my spine real quick. There we go. I don't know. It's been a few peaceful last 2 days. I don't have much to complain about. Well, that's not true. I can always find something new to complain about, but I don't know. I feel like things have not been. It's not like things have been going my way, but it's not like they've been antagonizing me either. I think that's what most days are like. You don't exactly have like a win, but you can't really call it like a loss either. Yeah, neutral vibes. We have like the vibe is like net neutral, zero sum type day. I don't know. Definitely like it being summertime has made like a lot more things bearable. Summertime is a strong word. Around here, it's still like not super warm just yet. It never gets like hot to me, right? Like I've never been. There's not been a single instance in my time here where I'm like, it's hot, right? Like that only happens if like somebody mess up the central heating or some shit. And while that may sound like bliss to some of you, and it is certainly bliss, I shouldn't take it for granted. I like the heat. I'm not like a super huge. I'm not a cold guy, right? I don't I dislike of the cold. Call me weak. Call my bloodline pathetic. I don't care. I must speak my truth. But yeah, no neutral vibes for sure. That's a good way of putting it. Oh god. Now I'm remembering the freaking PlayStation State of Play or whatever the hell they call it nowadays. Is it the State of Play? Is that what they call the PlayStation announcements? Yeah. I was hyped for literally the only one that the two main standouts to me in that presentation were the Shadow something or other Zero, mainly because I have like a super huge bias towards like wuxia stuff, and Dragon's Dogma 2 because I know a lot of people like Dragon's Dogma. For the rest of it, I couldn't really. I couldn't like. You could not. You could find me like completely lost at what was going on. I'm not gonna lie. I was actually like weirded out by the fact that Bungie made games for the PlayStation. Like it makes sense. I remember like a formative memory was seeing my cousin very excited about Sword of the Sea for my part. Same people that did Abzu and Pathless and Journey. Yeah, I thought that one looked cool too. Yeah, especially that part when they were basically like in a half pipe. I thought that was cool. Tony Hawk's Pro Journey. That's what he called it when he went to that airport that one time when they didn't recognize him. Does it all kind of like come? Okay, no, it kind of like comes from like a part closer to the like. Hang on, like all of these come from like the part like closer to the left hand side of his fringe or whatever it's called. I'm not sure what this part of the hair is called. But hang on, so like. Okay, I'm just gonna grab these guys. Man, the only Tony Hawk game I haven't played any Tony Hawk games, but I did have skated for the Wii back in the day. And let me tell you, I actually grew very fond of that game. I had a lot of fun with skated. I wasn't very good at it because I was like 12, and also like I thought it was funny whenever the guy ragdolled. So there was a bit of there was a bit of lack of error, I think, between me and the actual goals of the game. It is funny. It is so funny, and I'm tired of pretending it isn't. Hmm. Yeah, it does basically like spring out from here. I'm gonna get rid of this picture. Okay, there is one that kind of like droops over his eye. I think I'm gonna turn this one into that one. I don't know what it is about drawing with a Milli pen that just makes it feel so much so much lower stake. Like just having zero line variety really like takes away a lot of the pressure. I don't know why. I think it's because I don't have to like worry and think about like the pen pressure I apply, right? I don't know. Drawing with like the single line width style is really good. But yeah, I don't know. Have there been like recent like really good skateboard games? That's another thing, right? Like when they showed off Alan Wake, I was like, I've heard of this guy before, but I like don't know what his deal is. I'm not gonna lie, I thought Alan Wake was a freaking was it was I thought Alan Wake and Heavy Rain were the same game. I didn't know the difference. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you like Alan Wake, but I thought Alan Wake and Heavy Rain were the exact same game. That's happened to me a lot throughout the years, right? Like I'll just like have zero awareness of like a property or a series or whatever, and I'll mistake another series for like being in that property. Like Guild, like flipping back around to the point of like Dragon's Dogma. I thought Guild Wars and Dragon's Dogma were the same game. I couldn't differentiate them in my mind. Like they were both like fantasy games in my mind. I couldn't tell. I like couldn't like distinguish them psychologically. I don't know what that says about me. I feel like I might have made myself some enemies saying that. Like I just saw a little like faction meter up on like at the top left of my vision saying like you have lost karma with the Dragon's Dogma fan base. I know one of the two let you like climb on monsters and it was pretty funny. I think that one was Dragon's Dogma. Man, when I finish, knowing that Dragon's Dogma 2 is coming out, I think like that would be a good game to tackle. I don't know if I don't have any like games I can do in like one sitting. After I finish Yakuza, I want to try. I think I want to try Dragon's Dogma next. I don't know how long could Dragon's Dogma take to beat anyway. Let me Google this. Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, 33 and a half hours. Sheesh. That wait, 55 hours with main plus sides. Hmm. I mean, that's still doable. I've definitely played way less than 55. I've played way more than 55 hours of Yakuza. So that should at least be fewer episodes than that. How many hours do I have in Like a Dragon Nation? 42 hours. Okay, so it'd be around the same length. I don't know. I kind of want to try out the modern controls, but like I said, in the demo that we played, I just was not feeling them. Again, I feel like I'm taking this way too seriously, but I feel like it's good to take and try it out every now and again, right? Still, I was not prepared for like the heavy emotional damage to get like an unexpected Luke. Like I said, I was expecting anybody but Luke. Although if I'd have gotten JP, I think I would have had to have like a few hours of like serious self reflection. Luke, at the very least, seems genuinely inoffensive. JP is like sinister and shit. Bro is devious. Okay, here we go. Does this hoodie have like a? Okay, no, it's got an inside, but it doesn't have like lining to it. That's good to know. Okay. Let me see here. Yeah, the one that I don't think literally anybody is excited for is that Splatoon knockoff that that Square Enix is doing. I was like, I don't think anybody asked for this. Well, no, the one thing that absolutely nobody asked for is that handheld streaming console that they had. Yeah, it's so wild. Like out of anything, like we had the you know, I saw the like first part and it was like, oh, okay, so it's like Square Enix Fortnite, whatever. Okay, I can understand that. And then they started like spraying soap bubbles, and I'm like, okay, you have lost me. That was the moment I went from like being like, okay, it's just like a Fortnite clone to being like, this is something different. And usually when you say that, it's because like you're actually looking forward to it. But the thing is, it's like different and it's nothing. I don't think this is anything. I mean, I don't know. It could be fun. Like the thing is, right? It's very like given potential decisions, I could see it like being as fun and probably like potentially more popular than Splatoon, especially if they like port it to PC or something. I'm curious if it'll be anything good, and I appreciate it's silly, but like the Splatoon with less cohesive style. I think that's what got me, especially the fact that it both tried to like knock off Splatoon, but it had like an absolutely nothing. It's foam. It's just foam. It's a nothing. It's a nothing cohesive art style. Like how do you like with Splatoon? All right, you had ink, you had octopi, you had marine mammals, and modern streetwear. This just seems like your average gaudy dude rolls into a thrift shop with $1,000 and comes out wearing everything but like the cash register kind of looks, right? Like like these are not fresh. Like I said, I could see some potential ways that they could like make it more fun, right? Like, or at least like improve their chances by not like console locking it. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any. I have absolutely zero faith in that game. Unfortunately, I've been wrong before though. I've said stuff and been wrong before. Like God, I remember when I first saw the freaking Hololive English lads, the Tempest Guild guys. I made fun of freaking Vesper's huge ass chin, and now he's one of my favorite streamers. So old Pabs has eaten his words from time to time. Let's see, such massive gosh dang arms, and for what? To eat burger, unbelievable. Realizing that I am going to try and main him is probably like really softening me up towards Luke. Like, before I didn't understand like the hate he got, and like now I'm going to actively try to defend him from it. You know, unless he does something like straight up stupid, I'm going to root for this guy. I feel like that happens whenever you find out that like you share something in common with a character. Like if a character is like Latino, for example, I will absolutely bat for them. Hang on. Huh. I don't have Popeye arms myself, so I don't know like how to like warp the musculature around his skeleton for this one. Oh well, I'll figure it out or I won't. All right, this thing has like the buckler logo. That's three, right? Yeah, that's three. You know what actually surprised me? There's this dude on YouTube, Iron Pineapple. He does like these things called these like these reviews of like games on Steam that claim to be Souls like. I've seen some of the videos, right? I enjoy them personally, and one freaking one time he did a game that was okay. So for context, there was a game in I want to say like 2017 mid 2010s, right? Called Let It Die, made by Grasshopper Studio, directed a question mark. I don't know. Suda51 had some kind of like hand in it. I like Suda51 because for his character design ideas and like aesthetics and everything. And Grasshopper Studio, in addition to that, I try to play Killer 7. Unfortunately, I will not be able to complete it, I think. But right. So Grasshopper Studio made a game in like the mid 2010s called Let It Die. And I think it was supposed to be like some kind of like rogue like um beat 'em up with like Dark Souls esque like character development, like character progression things for like not no actually like I guess it would be just like roguelike because like every time your character died, you had the option of like trying to get it back or trying to like carry forward its stats into like a new thing. It became like pay to. I think like a lot of the criticism was like that the game received was towards like its pay to win ideas and like just how poorly monetized it was. But like this is a really crappy start. Anyway, that game I thought just kind of like faded into obscurity, as all heavily monetized games should. It turns out that it received like a sort of sequel. I say sort of sequel in I don't know some time ago, like a limited amount of time ago, not too long ago. It received a sort of sequel where it was reimagined as a battle royale game, and that was covered in that Iron Pineapple video, and like I feel like half of the games that were on in the PlayStation thing must have felt like that to like 80% of the people watching. Like, well, no, hang on. How do I put this? Like, I feel like I didn't understand what the hell was going on in like half of the games that were being shown off. Like, I understood what was on the screen. I didn't know what they were. Like, and they were pitching to me like sequels for games that I'd never heard of. Right? Like they were like, it's time for like Immortal 2. And I'm like, I didn't even know Immortal 1 existed as a concept. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's just me showing my Neanderthal side or something. My small Luddite tendencies, but I feel like I didn't know half of the games that they showed off, especially the sequels. Like I hadn't heard about like any of these in my life. Oh, that being said, like I did really enjoy the trailer for the new Spider-Man. I know a lot of people are excited about that one. Why is this star like this? Hang on, I feel like I know how to fix it. Okay, let me just transform Warp it over here. How's that? We're getting there. We're getting there. It should not be this difficult to draw a star, bro. Come on. You know what? Hang on. I'm making an executive decision. Alright, first we go for the star. And then we do the lines. I think that was my mistake. I was doing the lines first and then the star. Should be the other way around. Here we go. Okay. Increase the size of that. Increase the size of this one. And actually, why not just copy and paste it? Maybe like this. Yeah, okay. Is this like, did this turn into a corner? Oh, it sure did. Alright, hang on. There we go. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, I read this article, right? So, right now there's like an ongoing tug of war, right? Bosses want the workers back in the offices. Workers don't want to stop the work from home lifestyle. I read it the other day, this statistic that apparently, like, due to working from home, people had, like, Americans in particular had saved like over 60 million hours in the year. So, knowing this, right, I have to wonder, right? 60 million hours, like cumulatively, right? Like you're not going to save 60 million hours in a year by yourself, but like, that also takes into account like the fact that like some people had, hour-long commutes, right? Like, I have a very small commute myself, so it doesn't like really stick for me, but like that is like some people drive for like hours to get to where they work, and that is insane. Like honestly, I do hope the like work from home culture thing continues being maintained. Like there are benefits and downsides, right? Because like, benefit is that like, most people like especially people like myself who like, don't really own modes of transportation. Working from home has been like a huge blessing because, you know, e- even if I didn't go to the office every single day, the transportation costs even on public transit do add up, right? Yeah, and the other thing is that like, hang on, but like the other side of that is that, for example, I read that like downtown restaurants in all sorts of places have been losing immense amounts of like money because like nobody's coming by downtown anymore, right? Nobody needs to, because like there's no longer like a lunch rush because nobody comes by anymore. So in those sorts of situations, then I feel bad because like it's not like there's any like local places, right? There's no like half of the places that you can eat from near where I work are like franchises. They're not like it's not like we're like saving a local business by going to the office and eating outside. But at the same time, for and there are circumstances where those people would be at risk. You know, Frustratingly enough, like always, there's no like one size fits all solution. But I do hope that like the trend of having a work from home culture is maintained, because I do think that it does just allow for much better balance for everyone. Right? Like I have coworkers who are like stay at home moms basically, and I know for sure that they need to be it's just much more economical for them. It's much more personable for them to be able to like take care of their kid if they instead of like going to the office every day. They can multitask. They can juggle that. But yeah, there are all sorts of circumstances, because like on the other hand, I do also enjoy going to the office from time to time, right? Like it's not like I'm completely opposed. I used to go to the office very frequently, in fact. But it's good to have the option. I think that's what it mostly comes down to. It's just like having the option. There we go. Okay. Man, it does feel like everything we've learned about Street Fighter 6 has just been learned in the past like 2 or 3 months, though. I don't know. I feel like games like this normally have a much longer hype cycle. I mean, to be fair, we've known about Street Fighter 6 for like a while, right? Like we've known that it was in the pipeline for a while. But like I feel like we've only learned like the very last details just very recently. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying that it's unusual these days. I don't know. Maybe like having like a deluge of like Steam early access stuff very recently has just been like changing that. Like usually by the time a game comes out, like everybody's like played most of it except most of the campaign, which is what the main release is all about. I don't know. Is it weird that like it's becoming like a cultural thing that like gaming has like for me to like have zero expectations for like any video games that are coming out? I feel like nowadays it's fair for a game to be good than for a game to be like bad. I don't know. Maybe that's just like the hater instinct taking over, though. Yeah, there's like a little like devil on my shoulder. It's like, be a hater. Come on, you've been a lover for so long. Time to be a hater. And every single day, it's a battle to fight back that voice. Occasionally, it slips out, but you have to fight it. You have to find the good in this world. Now I'm imagining some dude who like really likes one of those like what happened to the to X videos. So like now he just prays for the downfall of every piece of media ever released. Let's see. Yeah, no, that arm is fine. The shirt. The shirt could probably use a lower neckline. Yeah, okay, that feels good. Then, all right, the big shoulder. Maybe like this. Yeah, I think this feels good. Okay. Then right here we add a little like line. Perfect. There we go. Just a little bit more here. And the ring of the fist right here. Then the sandwich. This is going to be my favorite part to draw, I think. I don't know. I want to be one of those dudes who's like really good at drawing food, but maybe that's something that I should make like the focus of my studies for the next part. I don't know. The one thing that I've been trying to figure out recently is eyes. I was pretty happy with how I was doing eyes before, but recently I've been wanting to up my eye game. You know, particularly since I don't have any eyes myself, I feel like I need to compensate by having really nice ones in my drawings. Well, by that logic, I would have started focusing on ears first. Maybe noses too. What the hell? Nobody's saying that I can't focus on those too, though. But I think eyes. The thing about eyes, right, is that they are very easy to get wrong. Right? So noses have ears and noses, right? You draw this, you draw this. That's an ear, right? Everybody can understand that that's an ear. You know, you draw this, you draw this, you draw this. You know, you've got yourself like most of a face. And you know, you can even draw this and say, you know, that's a guy. That's a guy, right? I feel like I was doing a Mr. Potato Head there. I love it. You know what my favorite bit in like anime is? Is like when a character is like inexplicably bad at drawing. Like when their art just straight up sucks and everybody comments on it. There was this one comic that I read where the plot of it was like one of those like regressor type stories, right? Where like the character had lived their life before and was now coming back. So this guy in particular was like the son of an inn owner, right? And he became like a martial artist in his life and was going to like basically jumpstart the journey and right some wrongs before they could happen. And one of the more consistent bits in that story was that the main character was awful at running the inn. Like his like a consistent bit is that like his chicken soup sucks. Like and that's supposed to be like the baseline for chefs in that area. It was like supposed to be like you can make chicken soup. If you can do that, you're a cook. Like it was like it was like being able to fry an egg basically. And like everybody, like consistently, people will comment, "Yeah, no, that guy, his soup sucks." And like it would be like a sticking point. And like even when he gathered like a bunch of people, he was like, being that, and he was like kind of like gearing up to make it an organization. He was like, being that I'm hopeless at running an inn and then suck at making soup, I've decided to create a criminal organization. And like instead of like being shocked at the fact that he was creating a criminal organization, everybody in attendance was like, "Dear God, he finally admitted he sucks at making soup." Like they were more stunned about that revelation. That's something I'll never forget. It's so good when people just suck at something. Chicken soup for the criminal soul. Yeah, that's why Italian. Yeah, hi Captain Vortek. Yeah, that's why Vortek. That's why Italian mobsters always talked about their mother's cooking. Uh I completely blanked out. I was about to do like an Italian accent or anything and everything, but like I think my brain blanked out at just this moment. He was like, yeah, just like Mama used to make. Imagine that's like with a heavy New York accent. Spaghetti and meatballs, just like Mama used to make. Yeah, good soup, good soup. Being able to make a good soup, like one good soup, you need to be able to make like one good soup, and I think you're good. Like if you can like make a single good soup, one soup that you like, enjoy eating, and are confident in your skills in making it, you are set. Because I feel like, even if you like subsist on like takeout foods for 90% of your meals, if you have that one soup, that one little soup, you can just like get something to eat when you need to like warm up, right? Like I feel like it's like such a necessary life skill to be able to make like a decent soup, like at least one decent soup. I can make Campbell's chicken noodle. Hey, that's something, right? Yeah, I tried. I actually very recently tried to like get into canned soups, right? Like I've been slacking on my. I've been getting better at it, but there was a time not too long ago when I was slacking on my dinner game, and one of my ideas was that okay, why don't I get some canned soups, and I try to, you know, frickin' do something with them, right? Spice them up, kick them up a notch, as they say. And so I tried that, and I found out that like canned soup is not very good. Like I tried Irish stew, right? I don't know. Maybe it was a skill issue. Maybe it was like the kind of soup that I tried. Maybe I would have been better off with like Campbell's chunky chicken soup. I don't know. But I tried like this Irish stew one because it had like beef cubes in it. I'm like, looks interesting. And I cooked it like I put it in a pot. I made like a decent portion, right? And bad. It was not very good. I did not enjoy my time with it whatsoever. Hang on. So the lettuce is like has like almost like a skirt ruffle. But yeah, beef cubes. You know, Allegedly beef. Allegedly beef. We don't know for sure what kind of meat it is. I have my doubts that it's actual beef. Gotta live that soup lifestyle. I've been saying this. You have to, it's like plur, but like one of the. I was about to say like plur, but like you replace the p with an s for soup, but like I realized that what that would spell out. And don't live that lifestyle. Yeah, don't do that. On second thought, the plur's been around since like the 1990s at least. So, nothing wrong with that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Am I right? I'm right. Anyway, but yeah, getting more into soups. That's something that I need to do a little bit because, like, I don't know. I'm a casual soup enjoyer, right? I'm not like all in on soups. I'm like all in on like stir fries. That's my thing. Stir fries. I've been making. I recently got myself like a grocery order for a decent amount of like the ingredients in this marinade cookbook. That basically I'm just gonna grab whatever proteins I have handy, whatever vegetables I have handy, and I'm gonna marinate those in the marinades from that cookbook and the spice rubs from that cookbook, and I'm going to see how that turns out. And so far, it's been very good. I made myself like a chicken teriyaki the other day, very tasty, very much scrumptious. But the thing is, right? Soups are like a maybe food for me. I'm not like all in on soups for sure. I don't know. If you can eat it with a bowl of rice, I'm in. Right? Like that's like my. If you can't eat it with a bowl of rice, then like that's a deal breaker for me. Right? Like a salad. Right? I hardly make salads. I eat vegetables. I eat plenty of vegetables, but I very very rarely make salad, and that's because salad just does not go with rice. I'm sorry, like unless it's like a bean salad or something, right? But like then you're talking an entirely different ball game. I'm talking salad of like leafy vegetables, iron rich. Anyway, I think we're done. We're basically done with the line art here. Yeah, that iron rice salad. That sounds like a dish from like a Yakuza game. The iron rice salad, like that'll give you like a stat buff. What about the elbow end right here? Yeah. Rice doesn't have a whole lot of iron from what I understand, but it does have arsenic, which is why you need to wash it before you cook it. So yeah, be alert, be on your guard. All right, where is this dude's like official portrait? Not this one. This one. Here we go. God bless whoever publishes these character turnarounds. I learned that like a year ago. What have I been eating? Yeah, there was this other dude on Twitter who I had to like tell about that too, and they were like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" And I'm like, "Dude, relax." Like half of the world eats rice. You're not like you're definitely late to this party, but it's like not that big of a deal. Foods have toxic stuff in them all the time. Like macadamia nuts, for example. I know that macadamia nuts have like a huge like toxic component in them. Or like yucca. Yucca has a toxic component. Potatoes can have a toxic component, I think. Or no, I think some potatoes can just be like poisonous. I mean, hell, most things are toxic if you're not eating them, right? Potato eyes are poisonous. Oh, that's so. That's so. Hmm. Yeah. Dude, I am not particularly skillful when it comes to peeling potatoes or peeling most fruits and vegetables for that matter. I feel like I lack skill in that department. Yeah. You know, I'm one of those dudes who like will peel away half of the vegetable along with the actual skin. I'm not. I still haven't been like super diligent at that. I got better. I have made improvements for sure, but like, mm, baby steps, right? Baby steps. That's very ashy for a skin tone. How about like, yeah, that's good. I forgot the scars on this arm. I like to imagine that the scars on his arms aren't from like training or anything, but they're like stretch marks from just how big his forearms have gotten. Like he partied a little bit too hardy with one of those like gripper thingies, and now he's got like Popeye arms, but at what cost? I mean, I don't know. I feel like this guy definitely like didn't like bulk up super quickly. Like I feel like Luke did like train over time. I think his whole thing is that like his background is like as a mercenary soldier or whatever, right? So I feel like he definitely like didn't bulk up like super fast, but like I like to imagine that like if you went from like being super skinny, like if you go from being super skinny to being super buff, you're going to get stretch marks. Like I remember there was this one summertime, I basically worked out the entire summer. I had like a little boxing bag, and I taught myself how to box. And by the end of it, I actually had stretch marks on like my shoulders, on like my well, the main ones were on my shoulders. So yeah, I don't think it's out of the question to like imagine that he got stretch marks like that, or at least somebody who did really intense training in a short amount of time did. I don't know. I wouldn't call the training that I did particularly intense. So I don't know. Might have been a skill issue. Oh, there's like lines down here too on the side of the shirt. Okay. Okay, and then like this. I don't know why, but I feel like Luke has a tribal tattoo somewhere. I don't know. He seems like a decent young man, but that's the vibe that I get from him. Like he has a tribal tattoo somewhere. Like he'd be like one of those dudes to get one on like his calf or something because it's easy to cover up, and he'd be like, "Bro, check it out." Yeah, I feel like Luke is like the type is like what Scott from Team Fortress 2 would be if instead of like being like a baseball jock, he would have been like a football jock. I don't know. I don't think that makes sense to anybody but myself, but I feel like that's the vibe almost. Luke is like if Scott from TF2 had like a football scholarship. Let's see. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea who this guy is. He's from Street Fighter. He's supposed to be like the new face of the series, from what I can tell. I don't know what his deal is. Very in depth either. To be perfectly honest, I'm only drawing him because I got him on the personality quiz. Capcom released a quiz that lets you like say, okay, in this situation I would do this or that, and based on that they assign you a character based on your playstyle. And I got this dude, and I wasn't super jazzed about it at first, but in my insane ramblings across drawing him, he's kind of grown on me, like moss, like mold. Let's see. Okay, so this is going to be the color here. Okay, is that yellow or is that just dark orange? I think that's just orange. No, I guess I should add a line right here. Oh, right, there'd also be like the little 3 lines here. All right, cool. Then his head. Kind of like this, I think. Yeah, like I said, I need to like watch a video to catch up on like the Street Fighter lore. I feel like otherwise people are going to be talking about stuff and I'm not going to be able to catch up, which, to be fair, happens a lot of the time, but I'd like it to not happen in the coming months, particularly as this game gets more into the hype cycle. I have like a laundry list of series that I need to do like endings explained for. Mind you, it's not a particularly long list, but it is embarrassing enough that like it's long enough that I don't need to list it out fully. It feels wrong that like his eyebrow isn't interrupted. Oh, wait, is it? Hang on. Let me get a look at your eyes. Okay, no, it's kind of like scarred over. Like the kind of like fascia there has been. Is that what that is called? Like fascia? It's like I remember there's like a term for like scar tissue that's like gone under your skin. I think that's supposed to be like fascia. Yeah. I used to watch these videos of like this like MMA dude, right? Okay, so I think the reason this hair is bugging me is because it's leaning a little bit too much toward like green. To like, hang on, select color gamut, this, and this. All right, I need to like figure out a color tone for these guys, which won't make me angry. No, that's orange. Oh, wait, hang on. I've got an idea. Gradient map. Sunset gold. Is that going to do anything? Okay, so here's what let's do. Let's grab that sunset gold. We'll lower that. We'll like apply it in one of these ways. Hmm. Is it even possible to save this? I think, hang on. If I do this one at a time, I think that'll help as well. Okay, then we grab this, and then we use that for the edges and the eyebrow. Okay, that to me makes more sense. At least. I think he is like he does have blue eyes. Hang on. Oh yeah. What the hell's all this? Okay, and now what we do is my usual trick of... Oh, that's weird. Why isn't it letting me edit the hue? Oh, I see. It's because I've got multiple layers enabled. Alright, so let's shift this a little bit more towards like red. Maybe bump the saturation? Would that be a good idea? Yeah, okay. Then okay, and for my next trick, I'm going to show off a new way of shading that I've been using recently. So I'm going to bump down the luminosity and bump up the saturation. Okay. Let's see if this works the way I want it to. So I'm going to be using the marquee tool to basically select the area that I want to unshade. Would that be the word? Unshade? Well, anyway. The area where the light would hit, basically. Now I'm worried that that's like too much, right? Additionally, what bugs me is like the jacket and the eyes. Hang on. Select color gamut. This and this. Oh, but that also changes the shirt. Damn it. Alright. We'll do this one at a time then. So we're going to change that to blue. More like a bluish tone. And likewise, we're going to shift this to maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of tone I'll use for the jacket just yet. Is that everything? No, I missed a little spot here. Let's shop around a little. Is that too intense? I think that might be too intense, but let's go with it. Okay. I also need to remember to do the chain here. All right. But yeah, I've been trying to use this style to like do like really like high speed coloring, like I'm doing right now. I don't know. I feel like this would probably work better for like the first pass on a proper drawing, right? Like if I do it like this, I feel like that could help me figure out like where I want the shadows in some of these areas. For this one, I'm actually going to use low opacity rough eraser. But yeah, like you can see, I'm still getting used to it as well. But I think that's also a good thing. Having something to learn is always fun. Okay. And okay. Hmm. This had like such a dramatic effect. Like this looks like it's like a horror movie angle. No. I wanted to use a rough eraser. Okay, let's see. There we go. Maybe just a little bit of like like light erase right here. No, that doesn't look good. I don't like how that looks. Maybe it's like I'm missing something here. No, that's not right. Yeah, okay, I think that was it. Yeah, I think this definitely works better for like blocking out where the shadows are supposed to go. I don't think it's going to be like, unless I particularly don't care about a drawing or like I'm particularly pressed for time. I don't think it's going to be my go-to anytime soon. It'll only get better with practice, though. Yeah, recently I feel like I've been losing my edge when it comes to like cell shading. So I was hoping that doing it like this would help me get it back a little bit. Let's see. I think it is working though. I feel like I'm getting back some of the principles that I lost. So I'm going to move this over here, and then I'm going to erase that part, with the exception of the parts back here. Just got to make sure that none of it intersects. You know what? I'll take it. But yeah, I do feel like this is probably the most intense sandwich eating expression that I've ever made. Like particularly like with this sort of shading, it looks very dramatic. I like that though. Sandwich. Hi, Cypress. Yeah, gotta have that sandwich. God, I forgot he had fucked up scarring on his forearms. Yeah. Earlier, I was saying that my theory is that like he got it like he did the Popeye thing, and those are just stretch marks now. God, I could go for a good sandwich right now. I'm very hungry. Yeah, muscle enhancements. Weirdly enough, I don't think Luke would willingly take muscle enhancements. I feel like somebody at Buckler or something must have like slipped them into his drink or something. I feel like he would have like a drugs are for losers kind of like thing going on. I feel like he's a straight edge. At the same simultaneously, I feel like you could overcharge him for weed. I don't know. He's become a very complex person within my mind. I'm pretty sure Drugs Are for Losers started with Street Fighter arcade cabinets. You're kidding me. That's awesome. That's so funny. Yeah, I think it was either that or Mortal Kombat, probably. I don't know. I don't know why I feel like Mortal Kombat would be more likely to be like a narc. I don't know. Have a great stream. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, Double Dragon was the first arcade cabinet to have the slogan, but it was heavily pushed with most Capcom games. Huh. Yeah. I tried out Double Dragon for the Game Boy. I got my ass beat like almost immediately. I feel like old school beat 'em ups were made out of different materials. Like I feel like in most games, like when the devs are trying to be mean to you, it's like to pad out length. I feel like in like old school beat 'em ups, the devs were mean to you because they could be mean to you. Oh no, realistically, the explanation was that like because like beat 'em ups absolutely made for quarter munching. Yeah, exactly. Like that's like the rational explanation, right? Like it's made because like especially for like older arcade cabinets, the more you lost, the more you had to like spend money on the cabinet, which is what they wanted, which made it like a good business deal. But like I'm talking from like and like also that's also for the similar reason why like older games were so difficult even once they started migrating to the console because you were a kid, even back when games regularly cost like $20, right? It's not like you could buy a game every day, right? Like very few people had that kind of scratch, so basically they made it so that the game would last by kind of artificially making up the difficulty. Like that's why Mario, like I don't know. Maybe it's a skill issue. Maybe I'd be better at them now. But that's why like Mario games, like the platforming in them used to be very very difficult, from what I understand. And like you had the live system and everything. I don't know. I feel like making Mario for like an arcade machine would have been a twisted joke. He doesn't belong in there. He yearns to be set free. They relied on high scores for people who couldn't get to the end. Yeah, or it could be like that one like Sinistar or whatever, right? Like Sinistar as a game is something that like perturbs me because like it's not that deep, but like the fact that it just like gets harder and like it doesn't have like an end, right? Like it just continues to get harder. Those games always like bug the crap out of me. Oh shoot, I forgot the back side of his jacket. Okay, so we're gonna do it like this, and then we do it like that. Brax to my recess friends, I totally beat Sinistar. Yeah, I did. There weren't a whole lot of arcades where I grew up, so I feel like most of us like bragged about our scores. There was this one game that was super popular among our class back in the day, 2048. It was like this very simple game that was like this like block pushing puzzle. So like you had like these squares that were like worth 2 points and on like a 9 by 9, 3 by 3 grid, I think. Right? So essentially you would have to push the blocks. Two blocks of the same value could be like absorbed together, right? So if you push two blocks together, that became one single 4 block, right? And the idea was that you needed to be able to like continue making moves until either all the blocks were, you know, you would continue making moves until like you either couldn't make any more moves or like I don't know. I never saw like the upper limits of that game. I remember the game was like I remember I got decent at the game, but like I never got like crazy numbers. That would be what I would have bragged to my friends about. Like, I beat 2048. I got to the end of it. That's like saying you got to the end of like Pi, right? What do you mean you solved Pi? I mean, I solved it. I got to the end of it. That's how much of a hotshot I am. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab my soft eraser That's not the soft eraser. I'm gonna grab the soft eraser. I'm gonna like do a little bit towards the head here, just a little bit. Not enough to be noticeable, but like, oh right, the legs. I forgot the legs too. Yeah, I need to like, hang on. Oh hell. Okay, this will work. There we go. Okay, and then increase it. What the? Textured pen. I've never used a textured pen before. I've never really like gotten a handle for it. I imagine it is, as the name implies, a pen with texture, but like, what they never tell you is which texture, right? It could be any texture. It could be the texture of wet bean, or like, wet sock. They put they put moisture in this. Yo, waiter, send my pen back. They put moisture in it. Celsius made a pen that audibly squelches whenever you use it. God, that would be that's something that I'm going to walk that joke back because I really don't want to accidentally have spoken that into existence. Dear God, please don't let them make a wet pen in Celsius. They're in Clip Studio Paint or whatever. There are like droplet paints. I remember there are like droplet paints, but like there's not a pen that I would classify as like wet, right? Like there's no like wet pen. Yeah, they had so many people complaining about like forgetting to hydrate. Well, speaking of which, let me take a quick sip. They had so many people complaining about like forgetting to hydrate while they use their products that they just built it into the pen. There's probably a weird 3D pen that you can make that emulates liquid. I mean, there is that one liquify tool pen that I have. Like, but that one's like different, all right? That the liquify pen tool is not wet, all right? It treats things as though they were liquid, which is different from it being wet. There is a distinction. Dare I say, academic difference. I feel like the emulate liquid pen would be something that they invented, like Aperture or some shit. Cave Johnson here. Now, when I, as an American, try to find a pen for me to write down my genius ideas with, I very often get frustrated that I make solid lines instead of the more fluid and flow-like ideals that are born within the recesses of my mind. So here at Aperture, we've created the brand new wet pen. Be careful, it splashes. Something like that. I feel like that would be like the Aperture Science pitch. How about orange? Is orange? Meh. I feel like Red is like too aggressive, right? Mr. Johnson, that's just a fountain pen. Fire that person at the moon. Blue is kind of grown on me. Yeah, okay, this'll do. Hang on, I forgot to add the white point to the USA here. How else will you know that he's American other than the blonde hair, obnoxious personality, and other negative traits? Haha, the silly Americans. I'm fooling. For the most part. Anyway, there's so much. That is true that Street Fighter has like a lot of blonde people. Do the folks at Capcom know something we don't? Why are there so many blonde people in Street Fighter? Like, off the top of my head, there's Guile, Cammy, there's Luke now, there's... Who else is blonde? M. Bison could be blonde. We don't know that he's a brunette. Ken is also blonde. Who else is blonde? I don't know that many Street Fighter characters. I couldn't say that, like if I've had, I don't know, easily 10 blondes. Oh yeah, like Rufus. Rufus is blonde. That guy wasn't 5 and he was blonde. Is that really all the ones that I can name? But yeah, no, like off the top of my head, like 3 or 4 little blonde dudes running around. Like the Capcom coffers are awash in blonde people, especially with Leon S. Kennedy raking in all that dough. Armika, G, Colin, Lucia, Cody. I know who one of those people is. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. I'm happy with how it came out. I need to keep working on this. What do you call the? Hold up. I'm gonna do this on a separate layer with much thinner lines. G is one of my favorite Street Fighter characters because of his lore. Nobody knows who he is, but he claims he's the president of Earth and has lava powers. I'd vote for him. Wait a second. That's not my name. Pab. This stream was brought to you by Pab. No S. Pab is like my bad future counterpart. Pab is like who I became if I'd like dropped out of college. That's so funny. Like, president of Earth, yeah, lost the S. I am S-less. I am forlorn without my S. All right, let's see. Okay, is anybody streaming right now? Let me go back to the just chatting screen. Let's see. What is everybody up to? Oh wow, there's actually quite a few people streaming. All right, let's go say hi to Mocha then. They're doing the new Arknights season, so that's going to be interesting. I haven't played Arknights in a long time. I understand that the current one takes place in Italy. All right, y'all have a great rest of your evening. I will see you all on Saturday for some head studies. Later. Bye.